began with a secret phone. Hidden in the back of a drawer, it wasn't supposed to be found. But when a wife of 20 years uncovered her husband's hidden device, she also uncovered a trail of betrayal, lies, and infidelity. Within hours, a marriage built over decades would collapse into violence. And by the next morning, she would be dead. Mary Collins was 45 years old, a devoted wife and mother of two. Friends described her as selfless, gentle, and a woman who lived for her family. She had been with her husband, Richard, since they were both teenagers. Together, they built a home, raised children, and celebrated milestones. To the outside world, they looked like the perfect couple, the kind of marriage people admired. But behind closed doors, things weren't always so perfect. Mary had confided in her sister that Richard had grown distant over the years. He worked late, avoided conversations, and seemed emotionally absent. Still, Mary stayed committed, believing that after 20 years, marriage was about weathering storms. That is, until the day she found his second phone. It was a Saturday afternoon. Mary was cleaning their bedroom when she stumbled across a small, black phone tucked inside Richard's sock drawer. First, she thought it was old, but curiosity pushed her to turn it on. What she saw shattered her world. Messages from unknown numbers, late-night calls, photos from women she had never met. In that moment, Mary realized the man she trusted had been living a double life. That evening, she confronted Richard. Neighbors later reported hearing raised voices echoing from the house. Shouting, sobbing, the unmistakable sound of a marriage imploding. Mary demanded answers. Richard deflected, then grew angry. What began as an argument spiraled into rage. By midnight, Mary texted her sister, "I found something. He's not the man I thought he was. I don't feel safe." Hours later, that text would be her last. The following morning, police were called to the Collins residence. Richard phoned 911 just after 6 a.m., claiming he had found Mary unconscious in the kitchen. When first responders arrived, they quickly realized his story didn't add up. Mary wasn't unconscious. She was dead. Her injuries suggested blunt force trauma. Detectives began piecing together what happened inside that house. The kitchen floor showed signs of struggle. Broken glass, a chair overturned, blood droplets leading down the hall. Richard claimed she had fallen, but the evidence screamed otherwise. Even more damning, that secret phone. Investigators found it hidden again, wiped clean of messages. But forensics recovered fragments of deleted conversations, texts from multiple women, some discussing late-night meetings, others referencing money transfers. Richard's motive was becoming clearer. Mary had discovered his double life, and rather than face the fallout, he silenced her forever. But there was a darker twist investigators uncovered. The phone revealed not just affairs, but a financial trail. Richard had been sending thousands of dollars to one woman in particular. Bank records confirmed he had drained joint accounts, funneling money into secret payments. Mary's discovery of that phone threatened to expose everything, not just his infidelity, but financial ruin. Prosecutors later argued that this was the breaking point. Richard wasn't just afraid of losing his marriage. He was terrified of losing everything. His reputation, his family, his money, his control. And so, the night Mary confronted him, rage consumed him. Richard maintained his innocence, insisting Mary's death was accidental. His defense claimed she slipped during the argument, hitting her head on the counter. But forensic experts testified otherwise. The wounds on Mary's skull were inconsistent with a fall. The blood spatter patterns told a different story. Multiple blows inflicted in rapid succession. The medical examiner concluded Mary had been beaten to death. For jurors, the facts were undeniable. In court, the prosecution painted Richard as a man living a double life, a man willing to do anything to keep his secrets hidden. They argued that when Mary uncovered the truth, he saw only two options: confession or elimination. He chose the latter. After weeks of testimony, Richard Collins was found guilty of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Mary's children, now forced to live without both parents, stood at the heart of the tragedy. Their mother gone, their father behind bars, their lives shattered by one night of violence that could never be undone. Mary Collins' story is one of trust, betrayal, and unimaginable loss. A secret phone, a hidden life, and a confrontation that ended in tragedy. It forces us to ask, how well do we really know the people closest to us? And what drives someone to choose silence through violence instead of facing the truth? Do you believe Richard acted out of fear of exposure, or was it calculated, a desperate attempt to protect his double life? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, where we uncover the lies, the motives, and the crimes hidden behind closed doors.